You know, I gotta say this. Pat McAfee is a fucking beaut. One of the few guys on ESPN talking about the NHL. Hey, this is what he had to say.
There's a lot of people that have never seen hockey before. There's a lot of people that know nothing about hockey. So I wanted to make a great seg called Hockey is Awesome, okay? The next one, Connor Bedard. He's gonna be a part of this Hockey is Awesome seg in just a second. Old buddy here, Stoner, Stanley Cup champion, captain, first ever captain, Las Vegas Golden Knights. That, Sidney Crosby, top 3 player all time. Pasta, he was minus 140 to score a goal last night. That is very rare.
Yeah.
He scored 2. That is what he does. He scores goals. Down here is the greatest goal scorer in the history of hockey. Now, people are going to say Wayne Gretzky, but Ovi right here is on track to become the greatest shooter and goal scorer of all time.
It's amazing. Pat McAfee, one of the biggest sports podcasts in the world, is talking about hockey. Guy was an NFL punter, hilarious, and he built his brand from the ground up and has become arguably the biggest figure in sports media. And it's important to have figures like that support hockey if they truly enjoy it. You don't see it on First Take, you don't see it on Undisputed, and Pat McAfee has a passionate fan base. And I'm not saying every single viewer of Pat McAfee will now turn into a hockey fan, but it gives it more visibility. Talking about the young kid, Connor Bedard, the greatness of Sidney Crosby, Pasternak's absolute fantastic sniping ability, the legend of Alexander Ovechkin, talking about Mark Stone. I thoroughly enjoyed it because you could tell he was having fun and he likes the game of hockey. I'll just be very blunt. Us in the hockey community, who are massive fans of the sport, have complained about the lack of visibility the NHL has gotten at times. And it's just nice to see them finally get a bit of recognition and get a little bit more visibility, because I do think the sport has barriers due to the expense of playing it, but the expense of watching it is far less. I think you can still get a lot of fans if you push the product. I think what the NHL is doing good. I know some people are getting annoyed with the Connor Bedard thing, and I'll say the age comparisons get old after the first few times, but this is how they should be doing it. This is how they should have been doing Sidney Crosby even more than they did. Like Connor McDavid, push Connor Bedard. He's a young superstar in the making. You have to push your star players. You have to push your product to get people involved and to draw in more casuals. There's a lot of hardcore hockey fans, but how you make a lot of growth and how you become more profitable is you bring in the casuals, the everyday man that maybe he didn't grow up playing hockey, but watches a game because it was mentioned in a show and said, hey, this is actually a pretty fun sport to watch. There's so many people I've met throughout my life that never even watched a game of hockey. I'd go take them to a bar or even to a game in person, and they get hooked because it's a lot of fun to watch. And Pat McAfee will never see this, but I'll just have to say it, man. Thanks, Pat. Appreciate it. You're one of the few in the sports media that, with your massive following, that would actually recognize the sport of hockey as being as good as it is. It's just refreshing to see. And I guess the beauty of Pat McAfee, of him essentially starting from the ground up and just being just a grounded individual, very good person with how he treats the people around him. There couldn't be a better person to be affiliated with the sport of hockey. I'd like to know your thoughts down below. What did you think of the Pat McAfee segment? You think it's good for the game? I'm Captain Paul. I'll see you in the next one.